The long time story about the Orion Wars. Orion is a constellation of stars, and these wars, we don't know too much about them other than they have to do with the reptilians. And no one really knows the details of the Orion Wars. Were they something to do with Star Wars? Is Star Wars based upon the Orion Wars? Was there an evil emperor, somebody who had psychic powers and used them to abuse others? The evil emperor? Is that what the Orion Wars are? No one can tell you. But if that's the case, if there is an evil emperor still afflicting planet Earth, what happens when the evil emperor is, we saw it in the last Star Wars movie, evil emperor is dead. But the evil emperor had plenty of henchmen, and many worlds were under his domination. So this is what happens. Evil emperor is dead, according to Star Wars. As for the henchmen, I guess they're still around, kicking dogs. Why do I say kicking dogs? Because it's the most disgusting, vile thing you can do is to kick a dog. But, what if they came and said, well, planet Earth, this is what happened with the Orion Wars. The evil emperor and his henchmen subjugated you, planet Earth, and many other planets. And now the evil emperor is dead. There's still some nasty henchmen of the evil emperor around, but the evil emperor is dead. Now, how does that reflect on you on planet Earth? Well, dear humans, how are you going to fix your planet? Because the systems that were implemented on planet Earth were under the orders of the evil emperor. And the reason that we have the systems that we have is because the evil emperor put them into place. How long ago? Let's say thousands of years of evil emperor. Maybe it was just one evil emperor, maybe it was a series of them. Nevertheless, you have been living under the domination of evil. And now the evil emperor is dead. The henchmen are still around. And the systems of control are still around. So humans, your job is to get rid of the systems of control that were used by the evil emperor to control planet Earth. You have to free planet Earth. That's your job. And there's still henchmen of the evil emperor around. Are they like Darth Vader? Let's say, yeah, they're like Darth Vader. They're basically the same as the evil emperor. You have to recognize that evil exists. You have to say, evil exists. And you have to say, I'm very weak against this evil. Because you are. You're totally without defense when it comes to the evil of Darth Vader or the evil emperor. They can send lightning bolts at you. They can use telepathy and telekinesis to manipulate you, torture you. You have no defense. Who's going to defend you? I don't know. I haven't seen any Jedi Knights come around. I haven't seen a Luke Skywalker or a Yoda. But what you can do is you can look at the systems of control on planet Earth and start marking them down because they have to be removed. How do humans control other humans? Primarily, it's enforcing lack on others. What do we mean by this? It means that the human biological body requires food, shelter. And on planet Earth, you're not gifted with food and shelter. You have to buy it. So these are systems of control. And this enforced lack, you're in lack until you go to the grocery store and pay for food. And you have to pay your rent or your mortgage, or if you're lucky enough to have paid off your property, you still have to pay property taxes. All of these things are, the taxes included, are systems of controlling you. They take your freedom away. Who does it? Well, if you haven't woken up yet, there is a very small elite on the planet who owns everything. Money. Money is the system of control on planet Earth. And those who have money control those who don't. Because if you don't do whatever you need to do to make the money, then you have no shelter and you have no food. And the evil emperor has set it up this way because it makes it very easy to control all of you humans. So that's just the number one thing you have to know, that money controls. And you are not free on planet Earth. A smart person would say, okay, let's assume we get rid of the monetary system. Then what? Well, we know that the planet has the ability to feed everyone on the planet. Why? Because we have vast amounts of wastage of food. And between the wastage of food and the food that gets to the people, there's plenty of food for everyone. We have vast areas of the planet that are unoccupied, that you could build cities on to put people who don't have anything. We have vast amounts of money that gets spent on things like the military that could be used to build social housing for people. All of these things, I just bring them up because, decade after decade, these things aren't being addressed. They're not. And small-minded humans, the working folk that have to work for money to buy food and shelter, are small-minded because they keep looking and saying, I do what I do to make my money and you should too. So you're an evil emperor henchman because you have taken on the ideas promulgated by evil. Do you think if there really was a Jesus, that Jesus would set up a monetary system on planet Earth? Someone's going to come from economics and say, well, money is a good way because it allows us to efficiently distribute goods on planet Earth. And there's nothing better. And I keep saying, of course it's much, much, much easier for you to say, let's not change anything. Because the system's already in place and you just plug yourself into it. Collect your cash and go to Walmart to buy your groceries. And then I call you a stupid fuck because you have not engaged your critical thinking. You've not thought long and hard. You haven't read different authors who've been studying this problem to look to see, is there a better way? Mm-mm. You immediately say, fuck you. I went to work today. You work, slave. So that's what it is. It's one human slave who's been abused. Let's face it, everyone on planet Earth has been horribly abused. So, you got your abuse and your trauma and your school of hard knocks, which makes you hard inside, makes your heart squished away. That's why there's so much heart problems on planet Earth. Because you've been forced to give up love for others and, work slave. But the evil emperor is dead. So either you're going to become the evil emperor, the next one, because it's just so easy, because the systems of control are still here. You can be the new evil emperor. And by default, you are. Just so you know. Unless you go out of your way to... I'm for total change. If you are for total change, and it's basically, we have the ability, the technology, we have the resources to feed and clothe and house everyone on the planet and give them a decent standard of living, to not lie to them about the whole situation, to give them all the information we can, freely, no censorship. If you're for that, then, you're not in line to be the next evil emperor. But most humans are not like that. Most humans, what's in it for me? I gotta eat, I'm getting hungry. You're a slave to the systems that the evil emperor has put into place. How do we know that's the case? Well, we go to consciousness research. Dr. David R. Hawkins, that I've talked about many times, and Dr. Hawkins, using muscle testing and the scale of human consciousness, did the research, and lo and behold, planet Earth, up until 1987, the whole collective of humanity was a negative zone on the scale of human consciousness. And where we are now, well, we're not doing too good. I can't muscle test anymore to tell you what the collective is at. If you can muscle test and give me a comment. What did you get? Is the collective, is all humanity at 207 on the scale of human consciousness? Are we fallen back under 200? I don't know. I can't muscle test. I'm under demonic attack every day. What does it mean? Just imagine that the evil emperor or Darth Vader is around. And you saw in the movies how they could use telekinesis to hurt others. That's real. I suffer psychic attacks, just like Darth Vader was doing to others. So this is available to certain beings.